to just because I had, I built my following up on Instagram, so I just wanted, my people just to feel more about me, just come in my life. So I was just, one day I was like, man, I just want to just make a documentary about how I got to this point. Because at that point I was 3 years in. I was 3 years in with my business, and I was just ready to tell people, how did I get to this point of, So I got a videographer guy, he the question was all him. He did all the questions. Okay. And I just asked questions, about the depression state, because depression is something I had to really battle back in 2015. Back in 2015, that was my last season of college football, and I just trying to figure out what I was going to do next, because my whole goal was to make it to the NFL. That was my whole reason of bouncing from college to college, even going to college. My only reason was just to play college ball and make it to the NFL. My mom, to get her out of the streets, because my mom, the streets took her. She drug abuse. She lost to the streets, and so that really hindered me growing up, especially, my younger years, seeing my mom, go through so much of drug abuse, and to seeing my mom get taken away from the streets. My mom didn't see me really play football as a youth guy. I think she came to maybe one game that she ever seen me play. So, that was tough. Like, that was just tough to just see, and I just wanted to, I just knew that, football is a key the only key that I really grew up on that can just that could take me to the next level and get my mom out of the situation, and I can be able to, just give back to her. That was my main thought. So
Yo, what's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Armand, back again with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. Man, listen, this guest right here goes way back. You know what I'm saying? I remember being on the field, catching a few sessions with this guy, man, just in the trenches, when it was all football or nothing, man. Like, some people just don't understand when it's just, when your mind's set on one thing and you ain't got nothing else on your mind, you'll do any and everything to get to that field, get around some people or some guys that's really chasing the same thing that you're chasing. But the crazy thing about this guest, man, is he's been able to pivot and change his mental focus and direction to be able to help impact so many different people, man. Like, it's crazy the impact that he's got. But let me introduce my guest, man. So I got Rodney Nichols, age 30. He is the CEO of GrindHardSportsTraining. He went to college at Benedictine University. He's had 6 years, in the, sports training world. Man, AKA 29, man. Say what's up to the podcast.
Hey, what's up, bro? First of all, I just want to just thank you for, just letting me, just choosing me to be on the podcast and just letting me come over here, tell my story and to chop it up with you, man. Because like, just seeing your whole transformation, man. I remember you being at South Point, we were working out, and to see you, go through your experiences of life, to see where you at now, it's just been amazing to watch you, man, from behind the scenes and watch you grow and watch you develop, bro. So I just want to just give you a big congrats on just everything that you're doing, because I love what you're doing, man, and I'm always following you. I'm always behind you, bro. And I just want to just say thank you, bro, for letting me do this.
Hey, man, no doubt, man. That means a lot, man. It's definitely, when you think you just kind of grinding and you don't feel like people may not be noticing, but, people watching, man, the same way I'm watching you, what I'm saying, seeing how how you started from, no equipment at all to building the equipment, having little people at the, training, and now you worked your way up to NFL athletes, man. It's been dope to see, man. It's just, you've made your mark. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't think you made your mark, I know it's, in your mind, it's so much farther to go. But, seeing where you started and where you are now, man, you are, you definitely made an impact, within the community and within the, metropolitan area. So shout out to you, man, because, I'm watching, I'm peeping, and I'm seeing it, seeing the glow up. So I'm super excited for it. But it won't be Big Boss Talk, man, if we don't get into this two truths and a lie. So we always got to, get into the game. I'm above 500 right now. Like, I catch lies all the time, man. I tell people, like, black people just can't lie. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what you got, man. So let me get them statements.
All right, let's do it here. First one, I've been to 6 different colleges. My second one is I lived in 6 different states. And my last one is I was born in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
That's cold. Ooh, that's cold. And I think you tried to get me to throw me off. So look, I know you. I feel like the 6 different colleges. I feel like, oh, I don't wanna say that's. I know you bounced around the different spots. I just don't know if it was 6. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like 6. Then you said 6 different states. Then you said born in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Now that last one, I'm a little confused about because you had a little stint in North Carolina. You started playing ball in North Carolina before you actually came to the point. So I'm like, I don't know if my man's really, he probably wasn't born in the Rock, but he definitely from the Rock. But dang, I'm gonna go with my gut on this one, man. I'm gonna say the born in Rock Hill, South Carolina is a lie. I just feel like I don't know if you was born in Rock Hill. I feel like you was born in like North Carolina, and then y'all made y'all way down. So what's up?
Nah. I was born in Rock Hill.
Dang.
I didn't go to 6 different colleges though.
I
lived in 6 different states, but I didn't go to 6 different colleges though.
Okay. Dang. Okay, so tell me, how many colleges you went to?
I actually went to 4. I went to 4 different colleges. I started off on the JUCO route.
Yep.
Then I went to Wasabi Range, Lewisburg College, and then I went to Coastal Carolina, and then I finished at Benedictine University.
Okay, cool. What was that experience like going from different colleges? I know having that experience, you've seen great programs, good oil machine programs, and then you seen some bad programs. Like, what was that experience like?
Man, it was a crazy experience because I first went out to JUCO. When you go to JUCO, it's just like you feeding for yourself. So it's all you got to eat what you kill mentality. So man, it was rough at the beginning. Just meeting new people, seeing people from all over, from Florida, Georgia. You got people from Illinois. You got people from all over, bro. And you just coming together, just trying to play football. So that was different, and I really got to experience things at Coastal Carolina. That's when you really get the college life experience, and that can make or break you.
Yeah.
So I've been through with my journey, I've been through a whole roller coaster, bro, from the ups to the downs to everything. I experienced so much, but it also shaped me to who I am today. So I never take it back, man. Bounce around, it kind of held me. It held me because I ain't graduated to 7 years. I stayed 7 years to get an undergrad. Exactly. So it slowed me up, but it also it taught me so much, man. It taught me a lot.
I think, man, that's one of the reasons why I was like, man, I got to get my mans on the show because I know you witnessed you've been through a lot of trials and tribulations, the ups and the downs that a lot of people haven't been through. They may, go into a season of what you went through, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a glimpse of what you went through, but they might not get the whole, experience that what you have. So you got a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and game just to, to be able to spread and give people because you've been through so much. And like you said, it made you, who you are and help you stay I'm pretty sure with this sports thing, we're going to get into it, but it didn't start off how it is now. You know what I'm saying? This is 6 years of body of work, day in, day out. Now, now we here. So, we're going to get into that for sure. Before we start, I got this new little segment that I do, man. It's called Hot Picks. So I got 3 questions for you. And I just need your honest answer. It's a little simple, questions. It's sports related, so I can't wait to see what you think. Question number 1 is who was the best athlete you ever played with?
The best athlete I ever played with is definitely Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore was the best one I ever seen. Man.
Why Stephon?
I say Gilmore because, man, he could do everything. Like he can have the ball in his hands. He can go to defense, defend. He had speed. He had power. He had the vertical ability. He stretched the field. He could do it. It wasn't nothing that he couldn't do. Yeah. And he had that go get it mentality. Like he had the work ethic. He had his mentality. He knew what he was gonna do at an early age. Mm-hmm. And he was focused when we was back in high school. He knew what he was destined to be. So the stuff that he do now, I ain't surprised because I seen that in him way back when we was in high school. Man, the kid was just. His senior year was crazy.
It was, man, and it's crazy that a lot of people know him for being a lockdown corner, but the ones that watched him in high school know he played QB, and the stuff that he did on both ends of the field, but definitely at QB, it was
bro, it was sick, bro. It was sick, bro. I ain't never seen the only person that close I seen to him to do what he do is Jonathan Heffney. Jonathan Heffney used to do the same stuff at quarterback like Gilmore. Yeah, those two, they was special, man.
Yeah, definitely was special. Okay, cool. So top athlete, we got Stephon Gilmore. All right, well, give me your top 3 corners right now in the league. Who do you feel like is the best top 3 corners, whether they got an all around game. What? Give me your best 3.
My best 3 is I have Xavier Howard.
Okay.
Xavier Howard. Second one, I'm gonna go with Gilly. I love Gilly. Yeah. And number three, I'm gonna go with right now. I'm gonna go with Zaire Alexander from the Packers. I love his game. I love his game.
Got you. I'm surprised you didn't say Jalen. Jalen.
I love Jalen. I love Jalen game, man. But I'm more of a short corner, so I like people that more of my side.
Okay.
But I love Jalen Ramsey. I'm a huge Jalen Ramsey fan.
Got you.
I love him.
That makes sense. And then the last question is, y'all boys used to be spatted back in the day, man. Like that 2008. Just watching that history of South Point, man. Like them boys used to come with the bands, the shoot, the cleats. Like y'all.
The 08 class started that.
Yeah.
08 class started that. CJ Drayford, them boys, Mark McCullough, them boys started that shit.
Y'all boys was drippy. So give me your game day swag. Like what you got to go out on the field with, to complete the fit. Because obviously you look good, you play good.
Yeah. You got for me, my game day fit, I definitely gotta have a visor on. Visor on my helmet. Yeah. I gotta have a mouthpiece with the with the lip on it. I gotta have my lip mouthpiece. I gotta have that. I like the one sleeve, so I like to get like the one sleeve, long sleeve, one long sleeve. Yeah. The other one short sleeved up. And then I gotta have the same thing at the bottom. So I have tights on. Yeah. But then I have bands on my tights. The 2 bands on it. Then I have cleats spatted up. My cleats gotta be spatted. Mm-hmm. Gotta have a glove, and then I gotta have a towel hanging out.
Hey, the towel was signature. Hey, I forgot who used to wear the long towel. Like it wasn't no short towel. Somebody used to wear a long towel at the back, but they was thumping though. I don't know if I seen it on defense, offense. I just remember somebody rocking a long towel, bro.
Hey, Bark and Pete Roseberry used to rock that long towel too, bro. Be out there
flying, brother. Hey, them boys used to thump though. I was like, man, but
I ain't never seen no animal like Pete Roseberry, bro.
I promise you, but
killer.
I promise you. Well, appreciate that going through those questions, man. It was just a good thing to kind of pick up on your swag and see what you got going on, because the swag is key. The swag is key.
It definitely is. Definitely. These kids got to learn, man. They got to get back to it.
Yeah. So, we're going to get right into it. So I want to move the conversation. And one of the things that I seen, it was a while ago, was I think it was a documentary piece. I'm not sure what it was, but you had a video kind of explaining your mindset, as far as, I don't know if you were talking about maybe some of the, a little bit of depression that you might have been going through at the time of chasing the dream of, going to the league. But I remember in the video you stated that you felt like you were, you failed, you know what I'm saying? Because you wasn't able to make it to the league and get your mom out of that, whatever situation she was in and things of that nature. Do you know what documentary I'm talking about? The snippets?
Yeah.
How did, what sparked that idea, or like who came to you about the idea of making that? Was that your idea? And what was the reason behind that?
That was my idea, because I was just I was really just trying to because I had I built my following up on Instagram, so I just wanted my people just to feel more about me, just come in my life. So I was just one day I was like, man, I just want to just make a documentary about how I got to this point, because at that point I was 3 years in. I was 3 years in with my business, and I was just ready to just tell people, how did I get to this point of, so I got a videographer guy, he the question was all him. He did all the questions. Okay. And I just asked questions, about the depression state, because, depression is something I had to really battle back in 2015. Back in 2015, that was my last season of college football, and I just trying to figure out what I was going to do next, because my whole goal was to make it to the NFL. That was my whole reason of bouncing from college to college, even going to college. My only reason was just to play college ball and make it to the NFL. My mom, to get her out of the streets, because my mom, the streets took her. She drug abuse. She lost to the streets, and so. That really hindered me growing up, especially, my younger years, seeing my mom, go through so much of drug abuse, and seeing my mom get taken away from the streets, my mom didn't see me really play football as a youth guy. I think she came to maybe one game unless she ever seen me play. So, that was tough. Like, that was just tough to just see, and I just wanted to, I just knew that, you know, football is a key the only key that I really grew up on that can just that can take me to the next level and get my mom out of the situation, and I can be able to, you know, just give back to her. You know, that was my main thought. So
yeah.
So when I say I failed at that, I mean, like, you know, I couldn't. The NFL give you instant money. You get instant.
Right.
You make it to the league. You know, you make it to the 53-man roster. You get good checks. You get good bread. You know, so that can get, you know, they can get my mom out of the situation that she is. You know, that's what my main thought was at that time. You know, at that time. So when it didn't happen, you know, it took me into a depression state of like, man, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. What am I supposed to do? You know, football is gone. You know, I made it to an all-star game trying to pursue the professional level, but it's not working out. Mm-hmm. So what am I going to do? You know, so that really took me underneath. You know, I can remember, like, I sat in my college dorm for a week straight, didn't do nothing. Wow. Sat in the dark, didn't do nothing, bro. I just like, God, it's over with. You know, I don't want to be here no more. Just take me away. It's over with. I ain't got no reason to live. You know, I felt like I didn't have a reason to live at all. You know, so you know that's what I meant when I was saying about that in that documentary there.
Man, that's deep, bro. Like, and crazy thing about it is, it's a lot of people that may not the same situation, but they feel like, you know, if they don't make it, like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like, you know, I gave my all to this game, you know, since small fry. You know, all I ever dreamed about was one thing, making it to the league. You know what I'm saying? And then coming from a football city where people praise you highly, you know, for being an athlete, for, you know, going out to school, doing well. And then obviously you get this, you know, because of the people that done came before us, you know what I'm saying, like your Stephons, like your, you know, Kadero Pattersons, like your Chris Hopes, you know, and the list could go on. People that excelled in the league, you know what I'm saying, coming from the city, you know, it's a lot of eyes on you once you claim, like, I'm pursuing this, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you say I'm all in, everybody got their eyes on you, and then when you don't make it, you you feel like, again, like you failed, you know what I'm saying? Because you know you've been getting praised all your younger years for, oh, he's a starter over here at South Point, oh, he locked down, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he like that, you know what I'm saying? Offensive, you know what I'm saying? Like, you getting that praise in the barbershop, you know, it's a good feeling to go in on a Saturday after a Friday win. What you do out there? You know what I'm saying? How'd you go? You know, I got a pick, about, you know, 3 PBUs, all that.
Yeah.
So my question is, you know, knowing all of that, how did you walk yourself or mentally get yourself out of that, you know, out of that state? Because there's a lot of guys that go through it mentally, and sometimes they don't make it out of that state. And then obviously you were able to conjure up, you know, that courage and that, you know, that the same energy you was putting in football. It seemed like you found the way to put it in, you know, it maybe you're not playing on the field, but you impacting the game in a different way. So, like, how did you come up out of that depression state?
Man, for me it was like, man, like I said, I sit in my room a week straight in the dark, just trying to figure out, man, just ready to take life, man, ready to just commit suicidal thoughts, all kind of stuff, man. Yeah. And, you know, my coach at that college, you know, we had a great relationship. My coach was John Cooper. We had a great relationship, man. He really took care of me. So he really was like, you know, he really came to me, was like, man, you always been a great coach, man. I always see you coaching you. You gonna be a great coach, man. I always see that in you. You know, and he was telling me, like, man, you need to stay here. You need to stay here, get your undergrad degree, and coach, be assistant coach on this football team. Yeah. Help us, you know, help us do, you know, give back, you know, be a coach, because I know I can see this in you. Yeah. You know, so after talking to him, you know, I felt a little better, like, you know, maybe I need to be a coach, you know, maybe I need to be a coach. Yeah. So, you know, I stayed because I had another year to get my undergrad. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the guys, I used to always train myself out there in Benedictine. I used to always be with myself, training myself, you know, just doing whatever I can do to get better as a player. Right. So the guys that was in, like, freshman and sophomore, they used to see me doing that. Wow. So they used to come to me like, hey, bro, you know, could you work with us, bro? Could you work with us, bro? You know, I see what you be doing over there, bro. Could you really work with us? So I was like, damn, you know, maybe I should, cause remind you, if I would wind back, like when I used to play ball, yeah, we used to have like a pack in Rock Hill. We used to have a pack of guys. It used to be me, Mike McClure, Jalen. It used to be Jeremy Massey. It used to be Jabril Fuel. Yep. We used to have Keon Showers out there. When we used to come home from college, we used to all get together and just train together. Yep. And out there, I used to be the one creating the drills for everybody. So the boys used to tell me out there, he's like, bro, you need to become a trainer, bro. You creating all these drill for us, bro. You need to become a trainer, bro.
Yeah.
Look, we have a lot of money, bro. So we, you know what I'm saying? We could go train with nobody.
Exactly.
But only when like Chris Hope came home, Jonathan Joseph came home, we used to like sneak into their sessions and work with them.
Yep.
They train. Other than that, bro, we used to train ourselves. So they was like, bro, you know, so my mind just resorted back to all that at one time when I was laying in that bed, that dark room was rolled back like, what I can do, man, I can give back to these college kids and train these college kids up and be their coach, be their assistant coach and still get my degree, you know? And I was like, man, you know what? This is what I'm going to do, man. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create my own training business. I'm going to create my own training business. I'm going to promote my shit on Instagram.
Yeah.
And this how it's going to work, bro. And that next day, bro, I had my first guy I was training, bro, out there on the field.
Yeah.
And the fucking history, bro.
Man, that's so dope, bro. Like, just hearing that story, like, man, like, you literally had to go through hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, battle, you know, that being in that depression state, you know, but then shout out to the coach as well for speaking that into your ear, you know what I'm saying? For you to be able to embrace it, because a lot of times people may not want to hear that, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, you know, I'm trying to make it to the league, like, I know I can, like, and not saying that you couldn't, but it's just to embrace that ear and say, all right, cool, I gotta, you know, I can do this, you know what I'm saying? And then resulting back to, you know, when you was going back home, making up the drills, having a pat with those guys, and those are some of those names you named are some of the most hardest working people I ever met. You know what I'm saying? Like Jabril, like one of the hardest dudes I ever met as a big man, like D-line, like really moved like a bear, like sweet feet.
Now, a lot of people don't know, bro. But I gotta say this: a lot of people don't know. Jeremy Massey, man, he changed the way I thought about life. He changed my grind. Like when I met Jeremy Massey, man, he changed the way I grind, bro. Looking at him, bro, because he was all about that grind, man. I used to always be around. I'm like, I love the way this kid, because he was younger than me.
Yeah.
So like, I love the way this kid grind. Ever since I met him, bro, I was like, man, he turned my grind to another level. For real.
That's hard. And I had the chance to play with Jern at North Greenville. He did his last stint, you know, his last year at North Greenville, played corner out there, and to that, you know, until his last play, like he grind. Like he impacted that DB room at North Greenville. Like it was a lot of, you know, veteran guys and people that was there probably like 2 years and felt like, you know, but he came in and they saw his work ethic, the hours he spent after you know, practice, and they adapted to it. And I swear to you, man, it changed that whole room and the mentality on that field. So being around you know, you guys, that pack, like you guys are impacting a lot of different people because you taking that same work ethic as a group, and then when y'all go y'all separate ways, y'all taking that same energy, and then is overflowing into a lot of these kids, man, a lot of these different players. So it's good to see. You talked about you played at, you know, Benedict. Well, we already know you played at Benedictine. I want to know, where did the love for the game come from? Football, like.
For me, man, the love for the game, it came from my father, man. Like, I can remember, like, I was born in Rock Hill, but I moved to Charlotte. My mom moved to Charlotte, like, when we was younger. So I was living in Charlotte a lot with my mom, you know. That's where I started off at. You know, in Charlotte with my mom, we started off there. So when my mom had got into some drug stuff, she had to go to rehab. My mom had to go to rehab because of drug addiction. So when my mom had to go to rehab, we was staying with her friend. We was staying with her friend in Charlotte. You know, they called, my sister was missing crazy days of school, you know, and they called back to Rock Hill, like to call my dad's people, like, you know, my sister missing crazy days of school. Her mom is in rehab. Yeah. If nobody come get these kids, you know, we're gonna take them to the foster, like they going to a foster home. So my dad ended up coming to get us. He come to get us, you know. This is really the first time I really ever met my dad. Yeah. Meeting him for the first time, man. I can remember me and my sister, we cried the whole way to Rock Hill. Cause my mom told us, you don't go nowhere with nobody. I'm gonna be back. You know, I'm in rehab for a couple of days. I'm gonna be back. You stay with this lady. You know, so when my dad came and got us, man, we cried the whole way to Rock Hill, man, cause we ain't really know him like that. We ain't know where we was going. We know environment. Right. But you know, I remember adjusting that first week back in Rock Hill, just adjusting to everything, being with my pops. Yeah. And one day, you know, we just rolled past. One day we rolled past Bellevue Elementary School. We rolled past Bellevue Elementary School. That's when the Red Devils used to have football practice right out there at the baseball field. So, you know, we rolled past there. We seen them have football practice, you know. So my dad was stopped. He was like, man, you know, stop. We just checked the football, the practice out. We just stopped there and we just watched the practice. I remember just watching the practice. And then my dad was like, you know, you want to get involved? You want to get involved with this?
Yeah.
So the next day, you know, he had got me involved. I was out there the next day, you know, just playing.
Yeah.
That was the first time. That was my first interaction ever with football. You know, just playing out there. My dad let me do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and dude, man, I just fell in love after that. You know, I just remember my first position being tight end. They just put me there, and then we was getting waxed. One game we was getting waxed, and my coach was like, he came to the huddle because this, you know, small fry. The coach could be on the field. Yeah, we getting waxed. He like, man, who want to run the ball? I'm like, shit, me. Man. I was like,
give me the ball.
Hey, we did a tight end reverse, man. I went untouched, man. Like, I went like 40 yards untouched, man. Hey, that next day of practice, he switched me to quarterback.
Let's go. Shout out to him. Hey, he made the best decision he could ever make.
Hey, he did, man. Shout out to Derrick Jones, man.
Hey, he made the best decision, man. And then I wanted to ask, you know, we see GrindHard, you know what I'm saying? GrindHard Sports Training. You know, why that name, GrindHard? I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, was there a list of names that you had and you just kind of narrowed down to GrindHard, or was it just your mentality and you just took it?
Yeah, man. It was just like, man, we like, I mean, college, man, college days, we used to always listen to. I remember we used to always listen to Boosie. Like, always listen to Boosie, mm-hmm. And we would listen to a song, "I Ain't Mad at You" by Boosie, yeah. and he was talking about grinding. He was talking about grinding hard in the song, you know, and that's to always stick with us. That was our favorite line of the whole song. Every time we got to run that. Hey, run that back, bro. Run that back. What did you just say? Run that back. Yeah. Run that back. So we used to always listen to that. So that's when it, you know, GrindHard, it really clicked after that. And I used to always say that. Like, I used to hashtag GrindHard always. So when it came to me getting my business, I never had no other name. I never thought about no other name. My first name was GrindHard Footwork. That's what I first named my business. GrindHard Footwork. It was called GrindHard Footwork. But, you know, as my business started to grow, I wanted to, you know, get out put myself in a box, you know, footwork box. So I was like, you know what? Let's go GrindHard Sports Training because we want to hit everything. Yeah. You know, so I switched it to GrindHard Sports Training. But GrindHard has just always been in me, and it's my attitude. You know, my attitude about everything. One nothing ever given to me. You know, I always been an underdog. I was an undersized corner when I played. You know, so grinding is something that I always had to do. Nothing was never given to me. So I always had to go from the bottom and just to make it to the top. You know. Yeah. So that's just been my mentality. So I think it fit well with me.
Yeah, it definitely does, man. You can feel the energy, bro. Like, I had no idea, for one, about, you know, your mom's, you know, the issues or the drug addiction and things of that nature. So I know battling stuff like that as a kid, you know, it impacts you mentally. And so you gotta find a way to put that energy into something that seemed like, you know, football, grinding, like that was just that energy. That was where you was, you know, placing it. So, you know, it definitely fits. But I had to, you know, I want to ask, you know, where that name come from. And then, you know, the beginning, you know, when you first started, you know, how much time, you know, were you spending, you know, training your athletes? You know what I'm saying? Like, talk to me about how, you know, was the process hard starting, you know, to obtain athletes? Was that the hard part? Like, what was some of the hardest pieces of growing your clientele in the beginning? Yeah. Because it wasn't always, you know, the caliber of clientele that you have now. So, like, talk to me about that, because I remember, you know, like you said, you know, we ain't have a lot of money, we ain't have a lot of, you know, what's the equipment, stuff like that. Right. Explain, you know, some of that stuff, because people probably, you know, want to impact, you know, the game, how you impact it, but they got to understand it doesn't come all at once. You got to kind of build and build and build. So I want to know, you know, your experience when you first started of just trying to get that clientele.
For me, man, like I told you, man, when I first started, I started my whole business off Instagram. That's how I started my business. That was my whole strategic strategy and everything, man. Because I got my undergrad in exercise sports studies, so, you know, that helped me out with just learning about sports and all that. So, you know, like I said, I stayed at that school to get my undergrad. So once I got my undergrad, you know, God had blessed me again by my coach coming to me like, hey, we want you to, just stay and, help the football team, come and be an assistant, but they're going to give you a job on campus. Give you a job on so you can go get your master's for free.
Yep.
You can get a job on campus. So I got a full-time job being a landscaper on campus. That's what I did. That's my landscaping job, riding around campus, landscaping the whole college campus. All right, so I did that, but what I also did was the kids wanted to train with me. So what I was doing is, bro, for my first 3 years, I didn't charge a dime for training. I didn't charge no money. Because I had a full-time job and I didn't need money. I wanted to master this shit. I really wanted to master this training shit. Yeah. And I knew, but if money involved, you can't master what you're doing. If you all you think about is money, I gotta get money. You would never master what you're doing. Yeah. So I'm like, man, you know what? I'm not charging nobody nothing. I just want to see what kind of training style I should use. I want to see drills that work and don't work. Yeah. I want to use these guys as guinea pigs so I can record these drills because remind you, I'm marketing my whole business off Instagram. Yeah. So I'm putting all my drills up on Instagram. I don't care if it look good. I don't care if it look bad. I don't care if people don't understand it. I don't care about none of that. I just wanted my stuff to go on Instagram so they can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I started off just like that. I started off with like one guy. He used to come out there, man, with that. Next thing you know, bro, I got 10, 15. I got all these group of guys want to work with me. And remind you, I had a full-time job. So my day was like, I used to get up at 6 a.m., be the little landscape on campus. I used to take my lunch break. Man, I used to take my lunch break at 11:30. Yeah. Man, I used to get out there early. We had an hour lunch break. I used to dip at 11 o'clock. I get gone, get this. Bro, hey, I was on the field training at 11. Hey, I was on the field training my lunch break.
Doing lunch break.
Bro, I'm training these guys, bro. I got my whole work uniform on, boots on. We out there on the field training for the whole hour of my lunch break. I come back, my lunch break 12:30. I come back. Sometimes I come back late. He be like, my manager already know. I already know what you're doing. I see you out there on the field. He had got so cool with it. He was like, I already know you leaving early for lunch. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bro, every lunch break, bro, I used to go out there and train those guys. It didn't matter who showed up, how many other guys showed up. Yeah. Anybody that came out there to work with me, we worked my whole lunch break, man. And that's how I built my business up. I built it up all through Instagram, bro. I built like my whole clientele all through Instagram. I knew my marketing strategy. I knew I knew how to promote it. I knew how to get the camera angles that's gonna catch people's attention. Mm-hmm. I knew all that shit because I studied the social media aspect. I studied it back in 2010, 2011. I seen what it was turning to. Yeah. So I was like, man, shit, this is my opportunity to shine, bro. So once I started doing that, man, my business just started blowing. Like it just started blowing up. And that's how I really, bro. That's how I really got going,
bro. And what's crazy is like, I mean, we grew up in the game, so it's like what excites you. You know what I'm saying? Watching highlight tapes, we know what excites us, like what gets us going. So it's kind of like when you working on the field, you looking at putting the work in behind, like lifting weights, doing the footwork. You know what gets you excited. You know what I'm saying? When you watching it, the emotion that you get behind it. Like that's for me. That's the main reason why I picked up a camera. Like I wanted to capture the emotion. Like I wanted somebody that could watch this video and I could change their emotion. If they was being lazy that day when they watched this video, it make them be upset because they knew they was lazy. They didn't put in no work. And so now the video be like, I got to get back on my grind just by watching the video. You feel what I'm saying? And so that approach that you took, it's crazy because you were already, cemented in the game and you knew what drew you. You know what I'm saying? Like what draws your attention. So it's like you can implement it. Football players across the world, like it's the same. Like we all thrive off the same, emotion. I ain't gonna say everybody, but majority. And so, and then just you saying that for the first 3 years you didn't charge nobody. Like that's crazy to me because a lot of people hop in this game and they'll be like, all right, they know a couple of drills, but and they don't charge. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna get some clientele. But what's crazy about you is that you had the it factor for your, for the craft. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to master the craft, master your coaching style, master your drills. Because when you're working with different athletes, I'm pretty sure you got to come up with different drills for each athlete. Like a DB drill ain't gonna work for a line, maybe a lineman drill or a linebacker drill. Like it's different.
Yeah, it's very different. And then I always, man, I'm big on like learning from other people. And I always, when I first got into business, man, somebody always told me, you can't never. Once you master something, the money gonna overflow. So I already knew like the money gonna come down the line.
Yeah.
But right now, I gotta master this right now.
Yeah.
Because if I don't master this right now, when the money come down the line, I'm still trying to figure out, what's my style?
Yeah.
What's to do? You know what I'm saying? Like my first, I thank God that I chose the route that I chose, and I did it strategically the way I did it because, the first 3 years I learned so much. So now when I charge people, and I put my price on something, I don't have to like.
You don't have to feel bad. You don't gotta feel bad about your price.
Nah, I don't gotta second guess it, man. I don't gotta do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I can wake up every day and be a trainer.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I'm like, can't too many people do that, bro. Like, it's basically I'm retired at 30. I'm doing stuff that I love to do. I'm waking up, I'm training athletes, I'm coaching athletes. I'm retired at 30. Man, so,
it's crazy. I'm excited because you really just put me on game as far as like the mentality of not charging people that, for those first 3 years, the mindset behind it. When I look at, kind of like if I just take that advice and implement it on what I'm doing, like obviously, I gotta grow the fan base, you know what I'm saying? I gotta grow the base. And right now, this is my time to master my craft. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no pressure. I'm not under no contracts. I don't have any sponsorships, none of that. So it's like I got the opportunity to say, what camera angles do I want to use? What lighting I want to work with? How do I want my backdrop to be? What questions I want to ask? How detailed, what lane I want to stay in? Like, and then it's just like you could catch yourself, maybe sometimes I feel like, dang, like why my podcast ain't popping like everybody else? And one of the main reasons is because I'm not on no foolishness like everybody else. Like when you think about when I listen to podcasts, it's really things that trigger people as far as like drama. Stuff that get people, talking bad about other people or talking bad about, certain situations. I'm trying to stay positive as far as highlighting people, regular people that's successful in their community. So it doesn't resonate like it would if, if they talking about relationship stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But it can still grow though. You just on your marathon right now.
Right.
Bro. Like you on your marathon, people love positive stuff. Like you see the IM athlete, they love positive stuff. It's just all about your market strategy, your strategicness of how you doing what you're doing. That's gonna make your stuff blow. Yeah. Like on Instagram, getting them reels right, getting your reels together, posting reels all the time, cutting up your clips. You know what I'm saying? Showing funny clips, showing clips of like some messy clips. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Being strategic, like especially like right now, you ain't got no pressure, man. So you can do whatever the hell you want to do. And that's what I did. Like my first man, I used to be out there doing all kind of stuff because I knew, bro, I wanted to push it to the limits. I want to see what limit that I can take it to. Yeah. Because I ain't got nothing to lose right now. These kids respect me. These kids seen my grind. These kids seen my play. They seen my name up on this wall of the stuff that I did. So they already respect me. So I can do whatever. I can do whatever. I can figure out any kind of style I want to do. I can see how if I want to do hour sessions or I want to do a 30 minutes, I can do anything. Okay. So that's why when I train now, it's just bread and butter, man. I just wake up and do this shit in my sleep now.
No cap. And I love it, man. I love it. I can, that's crazy. I love it. So we got 6 years in the game, going on 7. What are some of the key things, that you've learned, as far as how to train and how to build relationships, because relationships is important, when you out in those fields, especially when you got a consistent athlete, when they trust in you to get better at their craft. What's some key things that you learned about building that trust? What athletes come to you and look for? Do they like to be coached hard? You know what I'm saying? Like, what have you learned along the way?
The stuff that I learned, man, I learned that, every athlete not the same, man. Okay. People go through a lot of different stuff, man. Like some kids, they go home to a big house. They go home to their parents cooking the food. They go home to their bed made up by their parents. But there's some other athletes they don't go home. They go home, they just go back to their block. They just go back to whoever taking care of them. Right. So, you got to know how to talk to different athletes. And so that's the main thing I learned, how to talk to each athlete, how to reach each athlete. Because I done been in the hood growing up in the hood, but I also have been to a all-white school, a Catholic school, where I have to talk to those, those people that don't look like me,
right.
Those people that didn't come from where I'm come from. So I can talk to any athlete in all angles to get them all angles perspective. So being able to get their trust and just tell them my story, like I'm telling them, like I ain't telling you nothing I done seen on YouTube, I done heard on Google. I'm just telling you my story. Right. I'm telling you, I'm putting you through drills that I did myself, like when I trained myself.
Right.
Like, but the trust is there, and just learning that. Everybody ain't gonna look the same. Like when we train, like when so many people train, they try to get like every athlete looking the same. Like you can't do that because everybody different. Like everybody different. You just gotta have a common goal to what you want to do as a trainer. Like is you training for body movement or you training for body efficiency? Is you training for for eye? What are you training for? So then you got to make sure that they're accomplishing the goal that you're training for. It might not look the same by everybody, but as long as all those guys are hitting those goals that you want them to hit. That's the big thing I learned, man. And I also learned that, that in this training game, man, it's a lot of people doing it. Yeah. It's a lot of people. I mean, when I started, bro, back when I first started, bro, man, you couldn't find too many trainers out here.
You couldn't find a trainer.
Now it's everybody out here doing it. But you got to understand that, everybody can't do what you do. It don't matter what they're doing. It's enough for everybody to eat. But you got to have something unique that separates you from everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My athletes, they come to me, I'm going to be hard on them. I'm going to coach them hard. I'm not going to let them get away with just little stuff. I'm going to coach small details. They know that. They know that coming in. Yep. So it's just all about them being able to take it, because whenever they go, they're going to have to take instructions from somebody else that's going to do it their way. They don't care about switching it up. Right. Whether it's a job, whether it's going to another college playing football, whatever it is, going in this real world, you're going to have somebody that's going to be stuck in their ways, and they're going to do it this way or no way.
Yep.
So I tell guys all the time, like, man, it's also not just training, it's mentorship. It's taking you through life lessons too. Man. So just giving them everything in one.
I think, like, you hit on a lot of pieces, and I think one of the biggest things as far as like knowing that everybody not gonna look the same. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have this image of what an athlete should look like. How they should move, like smooth coming out the block. But everybody ain't smooth. It just but they can. The movements are the same. You know what I'm saying? We can get the same objective done, but it may just look a little bit different. What is your main thing? Like, what is your goal as a trainer when training these athletes? Is it the body efficiency? Is it the movement? What do you focus on a lot of these athletes that come to you?
So I'm a basically movement specialist. Okay. So I'm focused on body efficiency. How can we get from point A to point B the quickest without taking as many steps?
Got it.
So I'm focusing straight on natural ability. I'm focused on being natural when you do your drills. I'm focusing on eye discipline, where your eye's supposed to be at. I'm focusing on body mechanics. I'm really big on an athlete knowing how their body works. You know what I'm saying? Like I always give them like a little puppet illustration. Even though these kids they went in the puppet era, like they didn't see the puppet plays, or back in middle school when we had to sit down for a puppet play, and they got. They got that human on that string and a person up top pulling on the string, making a human move. Tell people your body the same way. If you pull your elbow back, your hip gonna go with it because your elbow is connected to your hip.
That's crazy.
Or if you drop your hands down, to your knees, your shoulders gonna automatically drop because your hands are connected to your shoulders. So if you want to get your shoulders low, drop your hands down. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to get low, stick your ass out, because if you stick your butt out, it's gonna drop you. It's gonna get you low. So stuff like that, just teaching kids like stuff like that they don't really know. Just learning their body. Because I feel like once kids learn their body, they can be more efficient. Because if you don't know your body, it then go trickle down to you not having the right coordination. And if you don't got coordination, you can't build skill. And if you can't build skill, you can't play. Right. so it just got a checklist that you gotta just follow by, like I follow by. Everybody ain't the same, but it's just something I just stay true to.
That's what's up. I mean, you gotta have that skeleton, that blueprint that you always gonna go to as far as like each athlete. I know for myself, like I was a late bloomer as an athlete. Like didn't really start ninth grade. I hung around all starters though. You know what I'm saying? Like my homies were starters. So at one point I just got tired of not being able to be in the conversation. Like, man, I just did this out there. I scored this touchdown. Like that made me angry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it really did something to me, to my core, where I was like, I ain't never gonna not touch the field ever again. Like, and it was really just ninth grade. Like middle school, I was straight. Small fry pee wee, I was good, but it was just like ninth grade didn't work. So I was like, I gotta put it in this work. So it was just like I had to get comfortable with my body though. When you talk about coordination, I didn't know I could, be as powerful as I could because I just wasn't using my body the correct way. I also had to build up certain things on my body to be able to be more explosive, to be more powerful.
Yeah.
And I remember just coming back from that summer, going into my 10th grade year, and they was like, "Dang, boy, Peanut, you know how big?" I was like, "Yeah, man, that's all I've been eating is peanut butter bread and potatoes every day, and hitting the gym." So it was like, this is what it do for you. But I think you made a great point of just about trusting your body, understanding how the body moves, because there's some, as kids, you may not just understand the full, how you can move and how you can get the most out of your body at that point in time of your life. Now you do train, high school, college, and NFL athletes, correct? Or is it all groups, or do you stop at like high school? Like high school is the lowest?
Well, I go youth. We work with the youth. We work middle school, high school, college, and pro.
Got you. So I'm gonna just talk about high school, college, and pro. With those three athletes, those three caliber of different athletes, obviously they in different stages in their careers as they move forward. Do you take a different approach based off the level, the experience, or are you giving them the same information? You taking the pro information and applying it down to the college, high school, and so forth.
Oh yeah. I'm giving them the same. The way I train the pro athletes, I'm training my high school guys the same way.
Okay.
I'm even getting but one thing with the pro athletes, it's all about, we learning together, like those guys, they teach me different stuff that they learn, and I teach them the different, the stuff that I learn. So They give me, I get them nuggets. So then we can always tie it together, and I can just bring it back to my college guys, bring it to my high school guys. So, man, when I train them guys, I don't hold back with nothing,
Okay.
The high school guys, I even throw them in sessions with them.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of guy, like growing up, when I played ball, I used to always want to just train with an NFL guy. I used to always be in my head, like, man, I wish I could train with an NFL guy, man. I wish I knew an NFL guy to train with. They used to always want to do that in high school. I remember one time Chris Hope came back to like a 7-on-7. I was at Rocky High. He came back, coached us up, man. That day I had like 2 or 3 picks. I was just excited about that experience, him coming back and just coaching us up. So as a trainer, I always told myself, when I get into training, I want to keep, either whether it's a high school or middle school guy, I want to keep them around some professional athletes. So anytime I can get some of my pro guys in them high school and them middle school sessions, I love to do that, because I like them guys need to see how these guys work, see how they so detailed, see how they, everything means something to them. And they get them the mindset of, okay, this is how I'm supposed to train. This is how I'm supposed to go. So I love doing that.
Yeah, that'll turn somebody up. Like, you get one of them young guys training with those pro athletes, and when you playing sports, you find a way to size yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be like, man, I'm kind of, I'm faster than him. I'm a little bigger than him, and so you try to, and then you start to, if you got the dog and you start to compete with the pro, you be like, oh, I got it. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see that.
Yeah,
I want to see them guys compete. Step up first in line in front of him.
I'm trying to tell you. You gotta have it. You gotta have it in you. But that's what's up, man. I mean, we've had, if you think about it, bro, we've been talking for a smooth hour almost, and it feel like it ain't even been an hour, because it's so much more that I would love to ask and just talk about. But I think you gave us enough as far as like what you about, your journey, your story, what you really focus on. I think for anybody that's watching this podcast, they can understand, they can feel the tenacity in what you bring, the emotion that you bring. Like, just talking to me, like, I mean, you done turned me up on the podcast, so I can imagine on the field it's a whole different ballgame, because you get into the drills with your athletes. I seen that on videos a lot. You lead by example. You know what I'm saying? You're not just out there telling these kids like, oh, do this, do that. It's like, nah, let me show you, walk you through the steps, and then we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna progress together. What's the big picture for GrindHard? You know what I'm saying? What can we look forward to, next? Like, what's the next step for you? Are you just looking to continue to work, obviously continue to work with the athletes, but is it just are you trying to just, like, what's next? Is there a bigger picture? Like, what's the
We definitely grind. We definitely gonna continue just to work with athletes. Build up the brand. Continue to provide athletes not just training, but provide athletes with mentorship. Give them an outlet. We want to eventually start a nonprofit. Get into more of the mental health. Start a nonprofit, get things going, and getting guys. Just as not better in sports, but also better with their mental health. Mentally. And getting that going, and we just gonna keep building. If God blesses with a facility, these next couple of years, this is just gonna be just something we take on. But right now we just grinding, man. We just grinding, trying to build up, trying to get our name out there, trying to do good business. Just trying to network, because like they say, your network is your network. Yeah. So as long as we networking, man, and God gonna steer us in the right direction. But we definitely want to get into a lot of mentorship, man. Like. Mental health is big. It's big on me. I told my story. I lost my cousin 2 years ago from suicide. So it's just, mental health is just something that I know is needed, and a lot of athletes need it. They need it more than ever. So that's big. Number one, of just getting involved in that space. I'm on a board. I'm on a mental health board right now with one of my NFL guys with his foundation. So I'm just learning right now from him, and hopefully be able to take it up and be able to. Just take those nuggets and get my own foundation and still work with him and give back to not just Rock Hill, but all the surrounding areas, man. Because at the end of the day, man, I just love impacting and helping people. And so I know that GrindHard will be all stand for helping people and grinding, doing it the right way. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep working out here for sure.
Yeah. Salute, man. Listen, I'm praying nothing but success in your endeavors. Obviously, you're doing it the right way, man. Just watching, staying intact, staying true to the mission, using the pieces, people, God bring people in your life for a reason, and being able to, network and just be able to build something together, and just be able to use your connections, as you move forward, in this mental health space. I think it's huge, and I think your story, needs to be told, and I want this platform, it's just like any other platform that you use. I hope that, Big Boss Talk can, it can help people that's in the same, mindset, what I'm saying, where they feel like they ain't got no hope, what I'm saying, they don't know what they want to do next, because that's rough when you don't know what to do and you got 50, 60, 70 years left, what I'm saying, to live. You know what I'm saying? You can get swallowed up by just thinking about far in the distance, but you got to just take it one step at a time, one day at a time, and surround yourself around the right people. But bro, thank you, bro. Like, it's been dope. The conversation has been crazy. The only thing that I ask is I need a recommendation. That's how we keep the podcast going. So I need a recommendation of who I need to sit down with next. Somebody that you think, maybe it's somebody that you look up to, somebody that you think got a great story that can provide a lot of value to what we got going on at Big Boss Talk. So who you got for me?
Hey, man, you got to get my boy Brandon Hinton on here. Get him on here. He became a trainer with a GrindHard Sports Training. Get him on him. He got a great story. Been through a lot of trials and tribulations. He also a personal trainer. Okay. So I think you need to definitely get him on here, man, because he got a lot of nuggets to share about a lot of stuff, man. Okay. I think it'd be a good conversation. Get him on here. Get Jabril Fuel on here too. Yeah. Get my boy on here. Get him on here. He got a great story too, man. That he need to be shared on here, man. He impacting a lot of youth out here, doing a lot of amazing things. Yeah. Them two need to see him on here for sure, bro.
No doubt. If you can just let him know, text him, and just be like, "Hey, man, Peanut gonna reach out to you. He got a podcast. You can say yes or no, but it's a good mission. It's something good for the community. I'm gonna reach out to him for sure.
I got B over here right now. He say he down, man. He already in.
Okay, bet. Then we gonna lock it in. Just send me his number, and then we'll lock in. We're gonna get a date and everything. How can the people find GrindHard, and how can they get connected with you?
Y'all connect with me on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, GrindHard Sports Training, Instagram _GrindHard Sports Training. I'm on Twitter at GH Footwork, Facebook GrindHard Sports Training, Gmail GrindHardSportsTraining at gmail.com if you need me for anything. Yep, that's it. Appreciate this, bro. Hey. I love this, man. Appreciate it, man.
No doubt, man. We here for you. If there's anything you got going on in the future and you need Big Boss Talk, just let me know, man. Hopefully, when I'm back in the city, I can pull up on it, just on live action, get some footage out there, and then, chop it up again, and we're going to do it like that. But, bro, I'm going to let you get back to it. I appreciate you. And I just wish nothing but success for you, man, for real.
Hey, you too, bro. Keep going hard. Keep this going, bro. This podcast gonna be #1 soon, man.
Oh, yeah.
Just grind with it.
No doubt. #1.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
my guy. I see y'all boys.
All right, bro. Take care.
All right, you too.